Hi, my name's Kim. I'm an East Asian medical provider. And in this episode, I'm going to show you how to make a really easy homemade apple juice. And if you're like me, I've been working on clean eating for the last 6 years. And all that means is that I am trying to do better. So I found this great recipe for apple juice, and it's on all recipes. I'll put a link in the video description below. But if you look at this recipe, one of the things that really caught my eye is that beautiful pink color of their apple juice. So I wanted to get that same pink color. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to go to the grocery store and purchase some red apples. Well, here's the rub. Don't do that. You're probably wondering why. Why not? Why shouldn't I buy those commercial apples? Well, here's the latest study. It was published August 7th, 2024. So just published. I ran across it in The Guardian. So The Guardian reported on this. What they found was that the level of pesticides left on our produce is actually higher than what's considered safe. So you're kind of wondering, because I was kind of wondering, well, didn't we know this before? No, we didn't, because we're actually using a different type of technology here. So we used to use what was called surface enhanced Raman spectroscopy. Oh, sorry, big words, can't pronounce them. But in this study, they used a different nanoparticle technology, surface enhanced Raman scattering. And what they found is this overcomes some of the limitations of the previous method of testing, which couldn't really identify if there was pesticides on produce, which is probably why industry was so willing to say that the nutrition in a commercial apple versus an organic apple was the same. You know, they were constantly trying to sell to us that organic produce and commercial produce are the same nutrients. This study shows that that's not a true statement. In fact, commercialized foods that have been sprayed with pesticides have a high level of pesticides in them that cannot be eliminated with washing. I have organic apples. I just harvested our trees, so I have organic apples all over the place, and I've been canning and freezing. I've been making a lot of applesauce, and if you make applesauce, you know you have a lot of apple peels. This recipe has you making apple juice with your apple peels. So save all your apple peels, get 5 cups of water, put your apple peels in the water, and then you're going to put it on the stove and you're going to bring it all to a boil. Then turn it down, let it simmer for about 30 minutes or more. When you're simmering it, you can actually put in spices if you want to add in a different flavor to your apples. So if you want to do that, put your spices in now and let them simmer with the apple peels. When you're done, I put a strainer in a bowl and I just strain out the apple peels. This is super easy and a lot less complicated than it sounded. So here in the bowl, I'll have all the apple juice. I'm going to flavor the apple juice with sugar. I'm going to flavor it to a taste that I like. And I guess the one thing about apples is they get sweeter over time. Now this, you're only going to keep it for a couple days, so it will still be sweeter the next day. So, you know, test out how much sugar you want. When you have the taste that you like, then I put it in jars. This is not a safe canning process, so I'm going to use this over the next couple days. I'm going to cover the lids, and again, this is not a safe canning process. So this is not a way that you can store this apple juice for 6 to 12 months. If you're trying to find a way to store apple juice for that long, check out the recipes on Ball and see if they have one for canning apple juice. When I had this finished, I had, a quart and a half of apple juice, and I let it cool overnight, and then I put it in the refrigerator. Okay, so there's an easy thing to do with your apple peels. And until next time, I'll catch you on the other side.